Prepare to brace. It's Chanel O'Connor, and I am here with another episode of, oh my god, what the f did I just say, and how the hell am I going to get myself out of this situation? Episode 3 edition. I think I'm losing so far. I think I've tallied up the scores and I don't think it's looking well for Chanel. Stick around and let's get this party started. Well, hello everyone, prepare to brace. It is me, Chanel O'Connor, all the way from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 6. And honey, what an episode. What another episode. You know, babes, it has been 3 episodes and I've been there for 25 minutes and already I am making people upset. I'm just causing a lot. There's a lot happening and it's a lot to deal with. I feel like I'm at the headmaster's office. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to smash that girl's skull in. The girl I'm talking about is Marmalade, because that was rough. We'll get onto that, but the main important thing that I'm going to show you today is we are getting into my episode 3 New Romantics Runway. What I want you all to do is to pull up a chair, sit down, get into the vibes, because I'm going to get into my look, and I'm also going to tell you the behind the scenes gossip and the entire reason to why I am a psychopath. Let's do it, let's do it, let's do it! We've done the tapes, the wig cap is on, but it's very cold in my little dungeon here. So I'm going to wear a tiny little hat to keep my head nice and warm. Let me now get into skin and let me get in to this episode. So we're going to start off with our primers. We're going to start off with our Hydro Grip Milk. And we're going to start off also by saying, I am so sorry to everyone who had to witness me and what went on. I'm going to be real with you guys. I'm actually quite nervous and quite scared to watch the episode. Because it's a moment where I really let my arse hang out. All because I didn't win. We were going to be judged as a group. That wasn't the case. They kind of flipped the script on us. And Team Zen had been so... Team Zen... We had been so together that I couldn't have thought of anything worse than going up against these girls. So the second that then had to happen, the inner Chanel comes out. I like to call her Big Channel. And Big Channel is she's a heavy girl. And she don't f*** about. So picture this. We're coming back from the runway. We've won, but we've not won because... we've had lip sync against each other and Lil has won. I've made Lil's outfit and I'm spiraling. I'm like, what the f*** is going on here? This was a challenge we were meant to win as a group. This was meant to be a celebration of Team Zen. Honestly, frustrated and angry at myself. I was so disappointed that I had spent so much time working on other people's outfits and I'd went around the whole workroom and been helping everybody else and making sure machines were working and just doing a bit too much for other people and not enough for myself. I didn't feel truly 100% confident in my outfit. I just was disappointed in myself and I felt very upset in the moment and I just didn't communicate my anger the best way I should have, and I took my anger, my frustration out on Marmalade, and that wasn't fair. This is a competition. I should have reminded myself that from the get-go. I let myself be a bit of a spoilt brat. Yes, it's brat summer, but this ain't brat Chanel. I don't do that. That's not cute. And this was a moment that I will be embarrassed by. But in the same breath, oh my god, what iconic TV to witness. That whole moment came so organically. I even saw members of production be like, camera crews, the cleaners were aware of what was going on. They could hear me in the back. But it definitely was a moment that made me shift. So, we get to the sofa, we're sitting there, we're kind of all very tepid around what's going on. We're celebrating the fact that no one has went home, but we're also sad that Saki's gone home. And someone just goes like, and Chanel, how are you feeling?
Chanel, babe, between you and me.
And I just let it out and I go, I'm annoyed. I'm literally annoyed. And in my frustrated way, I communicate, I'm glad that Marmalade didn't win. I say I'm glad Marmalade didn't win. It was giving 10%. I was like, oh! And as I said it, I was like, oh, f***. Oh, f***, I just said that. And the way that in my mind that sounded was I was happy that Lil won the badge. And I didn't communicate that as well as I thought I did. I just went to Marmalade and went, I'm glad you didn't win the badge. Psycho! Cannot communicate! Marmalade also was completely shocked by this, and she's told me in the past, she's like, Chanel, it came out of nowhere. Lavoie was sat there like, what the f***? Everybody was like, where has this come from?
It just doesn't make any sense. I was really happy with the outcome, and Chanel seemed really happy with the outcome until she didn't win.
And you know, it kind of came from nowhere. It came from my own insecurity, but also came from a bit of me being like, you know, I wish Marmalade maybe did a wee bit more here or there, but in the grand scheme of things, I actually should have done less. And I should have taken a page out of fucking Marmalade's book and done less for other people and done more for me. You know, I made my outfit the morning of the runway. I finished it all then, and it's like I spent so long on Lil's and so long making sure that everything else was okay and running smoothly and going around speaking to everyone else and making sure. Girl, here is your tip if you ever want to go in the race. Don't do anything for anyone else. Just do your own thing. Oh my God. It was such a choice for them to put us in a sewing challenge as a group. Oh my God, of course I'm going to want to tear everyone else apart. I'm going to finish these brows and then I'm going to move on to foundation and then we're going to get into the really juicy gossip. So, let's do it. So, I've moved on to foundation. I look fucking wild, but we're getting down to it. So the crack with this one was, with this runway, it was one of the last runways that I had actually prepared for the show. Weirdly enough, I had actually went round to Ellie Diamond's house and being like, right girl, what have you got? Maybe you got a pair of jeans that I can like do something with, and maybe like we do like a fun jacket, and then like we tried to style and piece something together. But the more I looked at her wardrobe, the more I was like, I'm gonna have to make something. Like that was it. We had to do something with this. So the morning of getting ready for this runway, I literally was last minute again.
I'm shocked. This is shocking news.
I was making a hat in the workroom, so then only had 2 hours left. Do you know what's so weird? 3 runways, and I've worn 3 fucking hats on every single runway. I'm not a hat girl.
I've never seen Chanel.
I don't wear hats, but I don't know what it was. I was like, must wear a hat! But point of the story is, so the reason why we're all here is because y'all want to hear what the went on. Let me set the scene. I've said my thing. I've had my crazy moment. I'm going back to my workstation to get out of drag. Lil's workstation is right beside mine. So I speak to Lil and I'm chatting away to her and I'm like, listen Lil, I'm so sorry. Like if I've caused you upset, like I don't mean it at all. And she was like, honestly, it's fine. I kind of walk away, and as I'm walking away, I see the girls at the mirror and I hear them talking about me.
Like, honestly, I would have loved to win this challenge, but I'm happy for Lil. I'm not taking it on her. I'm not taking it on...
It was a bit weird because it was very pointed, like an anger at you.
Before me, there were 2 tracks. I could go down one track, you know, idyllic, beautiful landscape, the track of peace. Or track 2, which is the Rocky Mountain test track. You know, it's scary. We don't really know what that track contains. But my God, that was the track I chose.
I don't know, just strange.
I do not think that Marmalade knows that Chanel is right there while she's saying all of this, and I am obsessed.
Oh, I'm asking for it. I am actually asking for me to be punched. It was insane. I've had my moments where I can stand up for injustice, but this was a moment where I was causing the injustice. Stand up against Chanel. Fight the beast.
We can
take down the beast. What a takedown this was. I don't really remember what I say. I think I say like, this is a competition, like, sorry if I upset your feelings, boo-hoo. But I got to a point where actually Marmalade had to walk away. And I remember when she walked away, I was so annoyed at myself. I was so frustrated and so angry. So I had to sit there and actually live with what I'd said. After that interaction with Marmalade, I actually did this. I spoke to Lil. She was the person at that time who I was most closest to, and I really respect her so much and love and adore her. And I said to her, right, real tea girl, tell me right now, how's this looking? And Lil went, you're in the wrong, Chanel. And I was like, you know what? I am. It's hard to admit when you're wrong with a situation, and I think it takes a very big person to take a step down, but I took a step down. I went, you know what? I could continue this fight and I could sit here and try and act like I'm right or act like but no, I'm actually in the wrong. I've upset people. I have actually caused a bit of a rift. That night, I literally went home, back to the hotel room. We were all ushered into our rooms. kept very apart. And that was a night where I really struggled. You know, I had a cry. I realised I was like, I've let my arse hang out. You know, this was a moment where, like, in real life, if a situation like this happened, I would phone Niall, I would phone Sarah, I'd phone my besties, I'd phone anyone around me to be like, okay, what's your perspective? Give me something, then I will go back and I will do it. I have to take the hat off because we're doing forehead now. But you've been lovely, hat. So we're in the workroom, it's the next day, and we're at the table, and bitch, everyone is quiet. And I know that what I need to do right now is Marmalade has to say her piece, and I have to lay down like a dog and literally take whatever she wants to throw at me because she's absolutely right to do so. I literally do that, and I just let Marmalade say her piece, and may I say what a piece she did say. We talk about the Cardiff market. I'm a cod. I'm flipping from one to the next thing. She got me good. She got me good.
You were flip-flopping more than a haddock down at Cardiff Market.
And it was a moment that I was like, okay, I don't like this feeling. I'm gonna make sure that I don't ever do this again. It was hard. I apologized, and still to this day, it's one of the biggest haunts I have from the show is saying that and having that from Marmalade. But I also gave her an iconic quote because from then on, we always talked about what percent everyone was giving. Are you giving 10% today? Are you giving? No, I'm giving 90. And it was just funny. And I think that's the thing you have to do in these moments is find the humour to bring you all back together. There may be people out there who can empathise with maybe how I'm feeling. There may be people out there who absolutely cannot empathise with how I was feeling in the moment. But all I know is I've apologised. Me and Marmalade are absolutely fine.
He is a liar, as you say?
Well, absolutely.
Why did you work for him?
Savannah, slow down.
And this is the thing, like, I think with the Drag Race fandom, y'all can see what you want to see on TV, but to me, it's what happens in the real life and what we care about in the real life. And I know, fully know, that me and Marmalade are so good. She was one of the people that I kept in contact through the whole thing to be like, are you okay? How are you feeling? What's your vibes? And this is our episode and a half for the both of us. But baby, we gave each other some wonderful screen time. So if y'all want some drama, there ain't gonna be any. The one thing with Chanel is when I take a dump on someone, I tend to try and clean it up. You know, put it into a bag, dispose of it in the appropriate manner. And that's what I did with Marmalade. Love her dearly, and I'm always so grateful that she accepted my apology. So, there we go. That's it. Will there be a week that I don't fall out with anyone? That will be the real question. Tune in next week when I fall out with Zahira. No. Maybe. Just have to stick around and find out. Very luckily, I have the Beauty Bay palette that's the bright and matte. And the fun fact with this one was f***ing Chara had the same one. She had a fresh one as well. But because she'd just done her orange look, all of her oranges were like boom. So I knew this one was mine. That's a funny little behind the scenes. Next thing that happens after the fucking table talk, you know, they go, well done everyone, thank you Chanel, thank you Marmalade for that was lovely. We get ushered over and it's the mini challenge. So the mini challenge this week is...
It's time to air your dirty laundry.
We are basically kind of choosing items of clothing from a washing line that refers to a member of the season that kind of describes them in a way that is maybe something quite shady or something quite complimentary. I knew after this whole interaction with Marmalade, I knew that I had kind of put a target on my back. If I'm gonna play the part, I need to play the part. I'm not gonna sit here and cry and make myself upset or sort of be like, no, I don't deserve this. No, I have laid down the track. Let me follow it. Choo-choo on the crazy train. Let's fucking go, girls. Miss Zahira thinks she's funny and decides to give me this.
Oh, yeah.
And wet blanket. Wet blanket. I'm like, oh, this day cannot get any worse. This day cannot get any worse. I had the gracious honour of gifting Miss Karen Thrax stomping on the competition. The whole day she was like, do you know what, Chanel? Thank you for giving me that. Thank you for giving me that. I was like, oh my god. I'm not going to hear the f***ing end of this. I know when it's her wedding day, she's going to be like, and I want to thank Chanel. Do you know what? And it's about time I start giving back. It's about time I start giving my kindness back to the world. Point of the story is, wet blanket. Baby, it's the Chanel pity party. Boo-hoo-hoo. The mini challenge is over. The embarrassment, I'm kind of thinking, this is the end of it. Now, fingers crossed it's a challenge that just is lovely and easy, and it's maybe like a Chanel, maybe it's a sewing challenge again, but we just do it by ourselves. Maybe it's that, fingers crossed. It is a fucking acting challenge. The thing that was rough was literally being picked last. Boo! The Chanel pity party continues at the after party, girls. I get picked last, and I'm fully sitting there like, punishment for my crimes. Please take me away in the gallows. I tried to be very sneaky, and I'd also been in a right fucking cow, so I deserved punishment for my crimes. Okay, being picked last, boo, but I also got to pick which group I'd rather be in. And now listen, I looked at the lineup, and I literally looked at it and I went, okay, Dita, Chara, and Marmalade are in this group. They all hate me. Zahira, Lil, Lavoie, and Kyron are in this group with Relisa. I'm gonna go with this group. I think it's a bit too early for me to be with Marmalade again in a challenge, and I just wanted peace of mind. I kind of wanted at this point to fade into the background a bit. This was a moment where I actually had to go and lick my wounds. Kyron and Lavoie will shine. Chanel shall be fine. And I was happy to do that. When they told me, you have 4 hours till you're filming, learn your lines, have your dinner, get into full drag, go for a costume fitting, and get yourself ready to literally act in front of Michelle. It was insane. I'm dyslexic, so this was terrifying to me. If it's rehearsed and I have to learn it, it takes me a long time to get it word for word verbatim. There was a little moment of me that thought, yep, I'm lip syncing, you know, they're gonna put me in the bottom to just be like, there you go, Chanel, that's you. Punishment for your crimes. But guess what, bitch? I was safe. And I was like, you're taking the piss.
You may leave the stage.
I was gagged. And I think probably quite a few others were gagged that I was safe. I really think my sort of delivery, my comedy, my characterization, and also like my look. I was so proud of like the ensemble, and I think like with New Romantic, it is such a specific frame of reference of fashion history. A lot of the looks were so different and so vibrant that it was fabulous to see. I would say for me, like me, Lil, Marmalade were really the ones repping the full New Romantic fantasy. Like we were giving Westwood New Romantic realness. The others were different eras of New Romantic, but those were my favourites. Team Zen, as per usual. We've done a sort of base yellow. We're going to move on and we're going to add some glitter. So let me cut this crease and add some glitter. Let's do it. Let's 3, 2, 1. That was my favourite thing about the race, was like, not about the competitions or anything, was the runways. Was seeing like, okay, this is what my brain thinks for doing New Romantic. What does Release's brain think? What does Zahira think when she's doing New Romantic? Chara comes out in this big orange leaf Bowery look. We were all like, Chara, this is phenomenal. Like, this is crazy. And it's so, so different from what we've seen from Chara that we were like, this is crazy to see. We loved it. The next day's happening. It's a new day in the workroom. But that morning, I am sat with Dita. And that morning, she had talked to me about her mum. With Miss Dita, you know, we're sitting there and we're talking, and she's such a beautiful story to hear, and for her to talk about her mother. And there wasn't very many moments that we got to be alone with each other or got to talk without cameras or without too much going on or having to run around. It was a really nice downtime moment. I just kept an eye on her, and I remember when I could see it in her face and I could see her kind of really, she's a girl who's internal. When she said the thing about Kyron's makeup, she just said it as a thing being like, oh, and like also Michelle said that thing about your makeup. Like I would have said that. Bitch, we all say things. When she walks away, I'm the first one to go and grab her because, baby, I was there last week. I'm going to be there, I'm going to stand with you because it's important that we look after each other. And that was a moment where I was like, okay, you made a mistake. We all have made mistakes. I am the queen of making mistakes. We are sisters through and through. Things can happen, but we apologize. We get to the bottom of it and we move on. Walking the runway is so scary. But do you know what else is fucking scary? Witnessing the first lip sync for your life. It was crazy to watch the first lip sync between Dita and between Miss Kiki. The lip sync was so fabulous to watch. The only thing is we're obviously in the back, so we can't see like what the judges are seeing typically too much, but baby, we can see the tricks. We can see the drama. We can see it all. We just can't see if they know all the words. Because listen, for Duran Duran, a lot of us were learning this on the back. We were all in rhythm and chime like, da 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 da. You don't know nowadays if you're lip syncing for the win. You don't know if you're lip syncing because you're in the bottom. You do not know. Prepare to brace. That's all I'm saying. We wanted everyone to stay for as long as possible, but I'm afraid it's television and somebody has to go home eventually. And for Miss Dita to be kind of the official first one to go out was sad for sure. You know, Saki had literally left the week before. That was so hard. Then Dita, we're like, oh my god, people are actually leaving now. This competition has begun. This is crazy. After the chat I had with Dita, I felt so close with her, and she's still someone who I really care about, and she's one of the cast members that I absolutely adore. I adore all the cast, but I have a special place in my heart for Dita because it is not easy going first. So when she said her goodbyes, then it was us coming out, dancing away. Then that was it. The last time you see that person is the last time you see them. You don't get to do like a secret, but I thought we did like secret goodbyes. Nope, that's them gone. It's the craziest, right? Let's get a lip on. Okay, so with this look, I wanted to do a nice bright red lip, because everything else I've done is very neutrals. You know, I walked in a nude, I did my hometown in a nude. We've not done a red lip yet, so I was like, let me do a little red lip. So let's get into this. The real effort goes to Niall, because 2 days before I leave, I come up with this idea. I go, Niall, I need ties. And I don't say any tie, I say I need color range needs to be reds mostly, occasional blues. Go. And baby, he did go. All around town, you went looking for ties, and you came to me with like a magpie with all of these ties.
I was like a magpie. I was like, look what I've gathered.
So yes, this was a labor of love, and as I said, I literally finished it in the hotel room the night before. So it was crazy last minute. And it really challenged the way I see what Chanel wears and see what like styling can be, because with this runway, it's New Romantic, baby. You can be whatever you want to be. And I just wanted to be this like fun party girl. Loads of layers, loads of ruffles, loads of fun. And I felt gorgeous. So let me finish this lip. And I've got to do a highlight, and I'll do one more trick with you. So let's get into this. So to transform this lip, sorry, just death threats from Chara. To trick this lip, because this is flat. This is so like big clown lip. I'm just going to take a dark brown, and I'm literally just going to work on the outsides and blend that in. Give a bit more dimension to the lip. We just reapplied a top coat of that same red, and I don't wear glitter lips that often, but this was a runway where I thought, you know, we need a little bit of sparkle. Oh, just adds a bit of va-va-va-voom, baby. Finishing thoughts, I was a bitch. Wah. And I'm grateful for the girls for having patience. Like, it's so nice to be able to go through all this and realize that everyone kind of come together and go, do you know what, it's a fucking TV show. It literally doesn't matter. Let's set it. Let's forget it. And let's get into this look. So in 3, 2, 1, let's get fucking New Romantic on now! Well, this is my new romantic look. I'm into looking romantical, and I'm looking so new and so fresh. Ooh, this is what the wig was supposed to look like, but I just teased and I pissed it off. I hope you enjoyed my look. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It has been a hard one to talk about. It's been a hard one to watch, but I am grateful for you all here to be here and to support me and show me love. Don't show me hate. Let me show you hate. Don't bully me. Let me bully other people, okay? And if you want to send me hate, make sure it's funny and it's spelled correctly. Well, regardless, I'm not going to know if it's spelled wrong because I'm dyslexic. Grammar is so important nowadays, ladies and gentlemen, and those in between. So important. And what's more important is if you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week to see me, Chanel O'Connor, be the villain of the season, or have I calmed down? They drank me. So for like a good 45 minutes, I'm kind of out. So we'll see. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys again next week. Ciao, Bella. Mwah, mwah.